champions. Caitlin, how'd you do it?
We went out there. I think we stayed within our Bruin bubble, and then we really just had fun, to be honest with you. Like, it was nothing we haven't done before besides literally hit all our routines in one day. So like, or all our events in one day. So that was really something powerful. Like we knew that's all we needed to go out and do, and it came in at the right moment and right time.
You became a national champion on floor yesterday, and today your team became a national champion. So you have 2 NCAA championship trophies. How special is this one?
I literally asked Liza, can we go on Ellen now?
Ellen, if you're listening to this, she wants to go on your show. What would you do on Ellen?
Well, I don't know, just like party with her. Maybe get one of her gifts. Like,
did you have anything specific in mind?
I don't. Oh, I need a new car.
So she got a national championship trophy 2 days in a row. Now she wants a new car. Floor and vault started out, it was good, but you needed to step up your game. What shifted going into bars?
Well, I didn't do, but okay, for the team. For the team, little Chris came into the locker room and he was crazed. Like, he was like, ah! and then like gave this powerful speech, and I said, oh, I felt that. Afterwards, I was like, we give it to you, Chris. Like, he came in there and like really had a lot of power to his words. And then going into beam, like, me and Kyla and Peng was like, all right, like, we thrive off of this type of stuff. So like I don't remember who the gymnast said, like, I guess we have to do it the hard way. That's what we did.
Talking about thriving, Janae, you competed one event tonight and you scored a perfect 10 from one judge, got 9-9 total. What was that like in your final bar routine?
Like I said before, never in a million years would I ever think I would ever score a 10 from a judge, and I'm still speechless like I am right now. We're national champions, and it just really showed that all of my hard work has paid off, from becoming a walk-on to getting a scholarship to earning a 10 in my final performance. Like, it couldn't be any more perfect, honestly.
You're known as the most improved gymnast on the UCLA team, so when you hit that bar routine, what made sense to you?
Honestly, just expecting all my hard work to pay off and just knowing it, and I don't need to think too much about it. It's just another routine, and just do what I did every day in the gym.
Did you ever expect that at the end of your career you would be a national champion?
Honestly, I knew anything could happen, but at the point we were at in the meet, I just honestly wanted to just enjoy the time I had with the team and just really focus my energy in on the team and just do my best for my team.
Thanks, Jay. Before we get to you, Peng, Kyla, you nailed your bar routine. The Bruins needed that one. What was going through your mind before you saluted?
I mean, just coming into bars, I was really not happy with my vault and floor performance, but I knew my team had my back, and I knew that in order to stay in the game that I needed to change my mindset. And like Kate said, Chris's speech really got to me, and right before I went up to bars, I came up to my teammates and I said, I'm doing this for you, and it's for the bigger purpose. So just going up and just hitting that routine like I always do in practice. I knew that we were back in the game, and then just going to beam, and like Kate came up to me right before and she said, we thrive under this kind of pressure, and so that's what exactly I went up and hit, and it was one of my best beam routines, and I was really excited. And I had no idea that we were going to be able to come out with the win, but I'm still in shock. It's still so special, and to have this team and to end it like this season, it's amazing.
So Chris gave you guys an insane pump-up speech before bars, and I heard Miss Val said some pretty inspirational words before beam. What was that?
Miss Val, honestly, she gave a little mini recap of Chris's speech, which I cannot repeat because it's explicit. There's a few bad words in it, but it was a very strong, powerful speech. And so Miss Val gave a mini version of that before beam, and I mean, all season we've been the best beam squad in the country, and just to end on that, and just to have so many newcomers on that beam team, like Brielle, this is her first national championship. She just transferred in January. Grace, as a freshman, to start us off on beam like that, and then to have Koshin back in lineup after injury, it's really a storybook ending. And just to have all of that, me, Caitlin go, and then to Peng to have that as her final routine. I still have chills. It's crazy, but I'm just so excited.
You guys started preseason with a different mindset this year. Do you attribute that to the national championship win tonight?
Definitely. I think like the day after nationals last year, we had a team meeting and we had a commitment that we're going to do something different. We're going to this whole year from that day we're going to act as champions inside the gym, outside the gym, do everything in our power, and all of us worked as hard as we could off summer like on our own, and then when we reported, I think we all knew it. There was something special with this team. The way the freshmen came in so cohesively, the way the seniors led, and the way everyone was fully committed from the day we started and reported back this season. I think none of us had any doubts in our mind, and we just acted like champions the whole season, and I think that's why we ended up on top today.
You talk about thriving under the pressure, and you did one of the best beam routines I've ever seen you do. Do you think that pressure helped you, and did you know that you were capable of doing a routine like that?
Ever since I've been competing, I think I love the pressure. It's something that really helps me perform at my very best, and Ms. Val always says to bring it at those high pressure moments that's what being a competitor is all about. So just going up after a fall and just clearing my mind and knowing that I'm doing this for my team, I think that's what always helps me do my best beam routine. And I had a rocky start this season with beam, but just to be able to bring it back for the postseason and have a solid beam routine, I was really excited to get a few 10s from the judges today.
Thanks, Kyla. Peng Peng Lee, where are you?
Sammy.
You're a sixth year. You're a national champion.
My gosh, I'm in shock.
What emotions
still.
are you feeling?
Blank, because I honestly am just so in shock. There's so much happiness going on inside me. I feel like I could just run around the whole arena and, I don't know, start track and field now, but I'm so proud of this team, and we thrive, like what Kyla said, under pressure. And I think when Chris came in to do his speech, we said, it's athletics, you know? You fight till the very end, and that's exactly what we did. We pulled and worked our butts off for bars and beam, and we just trusted each other. It wasn't the perfect rotation. We had fall on beam, but you know what? We pulled it together, and that's exactly how Bruins do. We fight till the very end.
You got a 10 on your bar routine, which makes the second time you've got a perfect 10 at a Super 6 competition. How did you do that?
I honestly was like, everyone is doing so well right now, and I said, I looked at Poola's eyes. She's one of our freshmen, and yesterday I told her I was going to stick it, and I didn't. And so she said, we'll try again tomorrow. So I said, okay, Poola, this is for you. She had her flamingo glasses on. She was standing right at the end of bars, and I said, I'm going to stick this thing. And so the whole time, I actually think I smiled in the middle of my bar routine because I was like, okay, if I smile, I'll calm down. So I was just honestly focusing on having fun and enjoying this last moment.
Heading into beam, you guys weren't in first place, but it's your best event as a team. After Madison made that mistake, did that actually help you do better on beam?
I didn't know she made a mistake until I saw the score. And so I said, you know what, we'll just have to do this the hard way. We have this thing in our gym called Blue Light Special, and that's when we're not having a great day, we're going to do a bonus round. And so that's exactly what was going on in my head, and I had no idea what kind of score we needed. I didn't even know we had a chance at winning. And so at that point I said, I'm just going to perform my heart out, because this is my last time anyone gets to see my flares, anyone gets to, you know, when I can perform and do the thing that I love. And so I was just focusing on smiling and doing it for my teams to lift their spirits up.
Did you know the score you needed to win was above a 9.95?
No. I didn't know that, and someone told me after the fact, and I literally thought the whole arena was cheering so loud because I got a 10, and I was like, yay! And then I looked at the scoreboard and my jaw dropped. I said, we did it. Oh my God, we did it. And I literally ran to my team. I was like, we did it. Like, all the hard work, I've been here for 6 years. This team has been so special. There's something that was so special about this team. We were all so competitive, and we knew we were going to grind until the very end. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we did the hard way, and we fought, and that's what made all of us so special this year.
Finishing your career as a sixth year, doing 2 perfect routines, and being a national champion, was there any better way to end your career?
Heck no. Oh my gosh, I couldn't even dream of a better day. I was like, hey, foot national championship, national champion. We're going to be national champions. Wasn't even thinking about, let's get a 10 on bars, let's get a 10 on beam. I was like, okay, just one part at a time. And then I saw those 2 scores, and I am still literally in shock that I just did those 2 routines for my team, because all I was thinking about was having fun and just enjoying the sport.
How are you going to celebrate this?
I'm going to Disney World tomorrow. And
Are you really?
I've been wanting to say that because I was like, guys, it's fate because my parents booked a trip to Disney World and we were supposed to go to Hawaii, but we're going to Disney World. And I didn't know that after the Super Bowl, everyone's like, I'm going to Disney World. I said, I'm actually going to Disney World. So I'm going to Disney tomorrow in Florida.
All right, well, have a safe trip. Congratulations. Ms. Val, congratulations.
Sammy, thank you.
Your 7th national championship.
know.
How is this one special?
It's super special because the team is so special. It's special because it's been a long time since we've won one. It's special because I feel that I'm a different coach and a different person than I was. Just going through the health issues that I went through 4 years ago. And it's special because halfway through the meet, I had to give myself a little pep talk because I was like, okay, so it's not going to happen, but you need to enjoy every moment. You got to practice what you preach and stay in the moment and stay with your athletes. And this is great sports, right? This is what great sporting, iconic events are made of. So it really hasn't hit me yet.
You talk about being a different coach than you were in the years past. In what ways has your mindset shifted this year?
Well, the last few years, our coaching staff and we kept talking about how are we going to beat Oklahoma? They're a machine. How are we going to beat Oklahoma? And it forced us to do things differently. And quite honestly, that's a page I took out of Suzanne Yocklin's book. In 2004, we had won 4 out of 5 championships. And on the championship floor, she congratulated me. Then she said, I'm so sick and tired of losing to you. And that just sent chills up my spine because I knew she was going to do things different. And she did. And that started their next run. And so that's what we've been doing. And at this time last year, I said, if we want a different result, we've got to do things differently. And we have stuck to that mantra and that philosophy ever since.
The meet started off good, but not great for the Bruins.
Right.
What shifted the momentum?
Well, I thought it was one thing, which I'll tell you in a bit, but we were on vault, and I saw their energy start to dissipate, and they were no longer in the Bruin bubble. And before we went into the locker room for the bye, I just got them together, and I just went hard on them. And I was like, guys, you talk about the bubble, but you're not living the bubble. You're all sitting there looking at other teams. You're looking at what they're doing. You're looking at scores. If you want to finish this out with no regrets, you've got to get the bubble back strong. And then we went into the locker room and for the bye, and then halfway through the bye, Chris Waller came in and went all Al Pacino in, what is it? What's the movie? Not Friday Night Lights. What's the movie? I just had it. I just said it in there. Anyway, he went
We heard
crazy.
it was a little explicit.
He was very explicit, but he went crazy about them being bleeped and bleeped. We're athletes. We're athletes. We don't give up. We don't. The fat lady hasn't sung. And he just gave that whole speech like crazy, man. And it was great because it was like all of them got this ice cold water, basically, metaphorically, on them. And they went great. And then as you saw the results on bars, they were amazing. And so on bars, right before Pang went up, she comes over and hugs me. She thinks it's a good idea to hug me. I start losing it. And as before she's going up on bars. I'm like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do at the end of the meet. So between her and Kyla, I'm losing it. They asked to interview me. I can't be interviewed. I come over to Beam. I'm like, I have got to get a grip. And I go, well, pull a page out of Chris's book. So I got them all together. I got them away from the cameras so they couldn't hear me. And I gave them the same exact bleepity bleep. We are athletes, and we're going to get this done. And they're like, okay. I'm like, was that good, Chris? And then they did.
Maddie Koshin had a little bit of a mistake on beam, but from the outside, it looks like Caitlin, Kyla, and Pang wouldn't have been as magnificent as they were without that. What did you see?
I saw the exact same thing, and I want to say that if you're going to have mistakes, I'm so glad that our Olympic medalists made them. It just makes them human, and it takes the pressure off of them for them to know their team has their back, And before Caitlin went up, she said to me, Miss Val, this is where we thrive. And then Kyla went up, and Kyla looked me in the eye, and she goes, I got this. And then Pang went up, and I was like, all I got to tell Pang is slow down up there. And she said, I've got this. And it was like, as a coach is like, they got it.
Coming into this meet, it sounds like you didn't really expect to be national champions, and throughout you kind of said that you gave yourself a pep talk that you weren't going to be the national champions. At what point during the beam rotation did you know that you were going to be a national championship team?
Oh, I didn't. Not at all. Chris came up after Pang hit, and he said, we're going to win this thing. And he always says that to me, and I never believe him, and I get mad at him. And then people started crying. The cameras came over. And I'm like, well, I've lived through this before where all the cameras don't go to the wrong team. Right. And then I looked up, and it wasn't until I looked up on the scoreboard that I actually believed it. Because I got in my Bruin bubble. I practiced what I preached. After the second event, I went into my Bruin bubble, and I did not pay attention to scores.
Okay, and I gotta ask, out of the whole night, I'm sure the whole night was special, but what were a couple highlights that just stood out to you?
A couple highlights that stood out were the ones that I have mentioned where they got refocused. Janae getting A10 on bars. And then on beam, them just coming up and saying, Miss Val, this is where we thrive. It's like I didn't need to say anything more besides that.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pac-12 fans. We're bringing home another national championship to the Conference of Champions.
All right, so we got to take one more thing. Yeah, we're out. Done talking?
Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
That was good.